Congressman, I am sure you were just drafting notes, wishing that you could slip them to your colleague in the upper chamber. Your reaction to Senator Booker's marathon speech?
This is what the fight is supposed to look like. I'm just in awe of my Senate colleague, Cory Booker. I would say congratulations, but really what I want to say is thank you. Thank you for showing what the fight on the inside is supposed to look like, because small victories will lead to big victories. Small victories we can find on the inside in Congress, small victories that the voters can find at a state Supreme Court race in Wisconsin or in their own local jurisdictions, or in Virginia and New Jersey later this year in the governor's race. That can create the electoral infrastructure we need to have free and fair elections to win the midterms next November. So it all counts. These small victories, they will bring us the big victories.
I'm so struck by a number of things that the senator said, sort of contextualizing. 71 days, the president of the United States has inflicted so much harm on Americans' safety, financial stability, the core foundations of our democracy, even our aspirations as people from our highest offices, a sense of common decency. And that's particularly interesting to me because the safety and the financial stability, those are two of the things that Donald Trump campaigned on. And yet we are less secure, both economically and in our national security, than we were before he took office.
And that's our core responsibility as leaders, is to protect the people who trusted us to lead them, to protect their physical safety, and look at, the just complete morons who are running our national security, who are putting classified information in open group chats. That doesn't make us safer. They economically, by putting at risk our health care and our seniors' retirement security, and tanking the stock market and raising the prices of most of the things we consume with the tariff that Trump is putting, the Trump tax. So in all the ways they're supposed to protect us, they're putting us at economic and physical risk. And the senator pointed that out tonight, and we just have to continue to do that. And I just want to also say, Alicia, it's working. Doing it on the inside is working, and the public sentiment, like the march this weekend, the Day of Action on April 5, that's working. And if you don't believe me that it's working, the Trump tax cuts that were supposed to be coming, they are already talking about, instead of lowering taxes for billionaires, actually raising taxes on the wealthiest among us. That is only because of public sentiment. So it's on us to keep driving that public sentiment to get the outcomes we want.
One of the things that I appreciated about the senator's speech today was the point was say no more business as usual, right? Like pump the brakes. Let's acknowledge that there is nothing normal about this moment. And you are, of course, doing that in ways that may not command our attention quite like a history-making speech on the Senate floor. For example, you took part in a Judiciary hearing today. Judicial overreach comes as your Republican colleagues are attempting to restrict federal judges from issuing nationwide injunctions against the president's agenda. What is it that you think they are trying to do?
It's completely in service to Donald Trump. They want to impeach any judge that gets in the way of Donald Trump, even if it was a Trump-appointed judge or a George Bush or Ronald Reagan-appointed judge. But again, in the spirit of public sentiment is working, this came out of some no-name congressman 3 weeks ago who introduced articles of impeachment, and Trump and Musk supported it. So Jim Jordan has this hearing. And remarkably today, during the hearing, not one witness, which included Newt Gingrich, and not one Republican member of Congress, other than the one who introduced the articles, said we should impeach judges. That's because we have created, with public sentiment, a hot stove, and they don't want to touch it. So we can't give up. I would say, Alicia, to your viewers, let's all go one rung higher from what we have been comfortable doing in the past. If we do that by doing town halls in Republican districts, what Senator Booker is doing by going to public protests, that's going to make all the difference.
Between sort of pulling Stefanik's nomination back because they realized that the math was not mathing, I'm watching at the bottom of our screen, this Florida 6 race was much closer for Republicans than it should have been. There's also going to be another close race in Florida. Are they starting to recalibrate based on the fact that they are now understanding that the math is not in their favor?
Yes. And they're wondering, what can Donald Trump and Elon Musk do to save them? And that's why Wisconsin is so important. For us to get a win in Wisconsin tonight, it will show Elon Musk he cannot buy democracy. It's not for sale. It's only for sale if we just stay home, if we shrink, if we hide under the bed. So we have to continue to hold our ground on democracy. That is going to work. It's working right now, and we can't give up. If Senator Booker's not going to give up, I'm not going to give up. Your viewers, they're not going to give up, and it's going to make a difference. And we're going to cut our time in hell by half by winning the midterms next November.